Hi, happy holidays from Mountain Yoga. This will be a short sequence that I hope can help evoke a sense of grounding and settling, my small appreciation gift for the support that you all have provided Mountain Yoga in 2020. Minimal props, but it would be nice to have a strap. And if you have a strap that you can place a loop in, have it about hip distance. If you don't, that's okay. We have alternatives, but if you can place a loop in a strap hip distance, that's great. If you don't have a strap, there's always ribbon, holiday ribbon. So you can use that in place of a strap. And a block or two, actually. And there again, if you don't have a block, perhaps finding a present. And I suggest use a present for somebody else. You don't want to damage your own present. It's not very yoga, is it? And then a blanket or a towel or a pillow for support under the back of your head. And let's get started. So coming onto your back in a familiar constructive rest position. So a blanket for the back of your head. Move some props out of the way. And knees bent, soles at the feet onto the ground. And then a blanket for under the back of your head. And heel toe the edges of your feet out towards the sides of your mat. And let your knees gently fall towards one another. I like to put a block or a pillow between my knees because sometimes I find that I'm tightening and gripping the inner groins. You decide what's most comfortable for you. So if you want to place a block or a pillow there, just let your knees softly fall against that or against one another. Arms down by your sides. Nice deep inhale and perhaps an audible sigh. Maybe again, inviting a longer, deeper inhale. Just coming onto your back body, being on your back body. Notice the spreading of the soles of your feet. The soles of your feet remain very soft. Starting to notice other areas where your body meets the earth. Feeling the back of your pelvis, the sacral region. Releasing weight down to the back of your pelvis. Feel that area spreading and widening. Allowing all the contents of your abdominal cavity to soften back into the support of the pelvic bowl. Notice how your shoulder blades meet the floor, most likely how they meet the floor differently. Doing your best to relax all effort in your back body. Noticing the sensation of weight as you slowly sink more deeply towards the earth. And then let the earth hold you and support you. Nice supported horizontal position like this suggests rest, invites ease and a little more space and receptivity to our body because we're not fighting against gravity. Releasing more weight down towards the earth. Don't rush or hurry or insist. Simply be available, simply be present to where you are right now. Releasing weight down and towards the ground, releasing emotion, releasing thought. As you settle into sensation, as you settle into breath. Maybe for a little more softness, the front of your throat. See if you can move the very base of your skull away from the back of your neck, allowing a little more length to your spine. Softening chin down towards your breastbone, softening jaw. Soft liquid eyes, let your eyes be heavy, as if they could fall back towards the back of your skull. Back of your skull heavy. Again, starting to yoke to the winds of your breath. Inhale, the rising, widening, spreading of your body. Don't grasp, simply feel. Exhale, releasing, deepening, listening to the sound of your breath. A lovely way of connecting more deeply into the moment. Listening to breath, sensing your breath. Letting the sound of your breath be like wind. Let the sound of your breath be like wind brushing through treetops. And then if you have a block, reach for the block or pillow, whatever you have between your knees, and set it off to the side. And go ahead and extend each leg one at a time. And then you're going to bring your arms into goalpost position. So your elbows are bent, backs of your hands resting towards the floor, nice and wide across your collarbones. You will need space over the top of your head to extend your arms. So if you need to adjust, do that now. And then with an inhale, slide your right heel and your right fingertips away from one another. So right arm is extended along the floor, right fingertips and right heel moving away from one another, starting easily. Exhale, release back to starting position. And pause. And then inhale, left fingertips and left heel extend away from one another, moving in opposition. And on an exhale, come back to your starting position. So continue with that movement. Pressing heel and fingers away from one another. Opening whole lateral side of your body. Exhale, releasing back to start. Continue on your own so you can synchronize your movement with your breath. Don't let me impose a breath on you. Move with your breath. Again, don't rush or hurry or insist. Simply be available and present to where you are right now, to the amount of opening you're receiving, the amount of opening your body is ready for. Continuing from side to side. Keeping belly, let belly draw back. Keeping rib cage quiet and integrated, not pushing, not forcing. And then when you're even on both sides, extend both arms overhead, fingertips away from crown, fingertips away from heels. Urdhva Hastasana. How much easier this is to do on our backs when our spine is supported. We have so much more availability in our spine. It almost becomes effortless than when we're doing this standing. So feel the support of the ground, the support of the earth. And then go ahead and release your arms. Bend each knee one at a time. Setting the soles of your feet onto the ground. Once again, feel the spreading of the soles of your feet. Softening, widening. And now interlacing your fingers and bringing the palms of your hands behind your head. So let your fingers just cradle the very bottom of your skull and rest your skull back into the support of your palms. You can find just the littlest bit of moving the base of your skull once again away from the back of your neck, getting that length in the back of your neck. Chin softens down towards your breastbone. So now, as you inhale, slide your right elbow and your right hip away from one another. So your pelvis, your feet, your legs don't move at all. It's not much movement, but it's a much more focused movement. Focus right along the right side of your waist, of your rib cage, outer armpit. And as you release, come back to center. It's a long hold. And moving to the left side. Now left elbow and left hip move away from one another. Hip doesn't go very far. So great to side bend out of gravity. Side bend on our back. Exhale, come back to center. We have so much more availability. So again, continue. Once again, moving with your own cycle of breath, not imposing, not forcing. And notice if you're wanting to really, really stretch, it's not how far you go, it's how deeply you feel, feeling the connection of elbow to outer hip. And a few more times, sweeping from side to side, maybe moving a bit more quickly, or maybe pausing on one side and taking a couple of breaths into one side. Staying in contact with the ground, grounding energy, grounding emotion, grounding weight of our body as we allow opening and space. And then go ahead and release your hands and roll to your side body. And then pushing yourself up and away from the floor. And we'll come into Virasana. So Virasana for a lot of us is bringing block or blanket, some support between the inner edges of your feet. Just notice, depends on your knees and hips and tops of your feet. So you decide, so this is an option, 2 blocks, 1 block. Maybe Virasana is not good for your knees or hard on the fronts of your ankles. You can sit in a cross-legged position, or you can sit you can sit on the edge of a chair seat. So come into a seated position in Virasana. And let's start by, and then make a fist, a nice loose fist. And start by moving, working your fists down the soles of your feet. So maybe if I turn sideways. Working your knuckles down the soles of your feet. Sliding one side at a time. Starting near your heel and walking your knuckles along the sole, finding certain areas, certainly of tension built up, and then just bringing curiosity and an exploratory nature to those areas, and see if you can maybe pause and work those areas. Working with the plantar fascia, it's like a snowshoe on the soles of our feet. It brings us, it gives the foot the characteristic spring. So as it becomes, if it becomes more restricted, then it starts to affect the bones of our legs, affect our joints. So we're just starting to soften, spread the soles of our feet. So we open up the soles of our feet, we open up the whole leg. And then you can, so if you're on a lot of height, you can bring your fingertips onto the middle arches of your feet. If you're down lower, you might be able to place the heel of your hand right in the center of the arches of the feet. And press down, let's get just a gentle opening, upper body, back bend, collarbones widen. Keep your chin parallel with the floor, softening the front of your throat to the back of your neck. Jaw is soft. A couple conscious breaths right up under nice broad collarbones, very upper lobes of your lungs beginning to expand, drawing space. And then release. And I'm going to turn around now and face you one more. We'll do one more movement in Virasana, but if you want to take a break and step one leg back, getting hard on your knees or the tops of your feet, you can do that, taking a break. Otherwise, and then returning to Virasana, you can pause at any time and stay longer in anything that I suggest. And then let's go ahead and give yourself a hug with your right elbow on top. I'm not mirroring you right now, so don't copy me. So right elbow is on top. So maybe you stay like this. If you can come into some form of eagle arms, Garudasana arms, maybe bringing the backs of your hands together, maybe intertwining your forearms or staying with a hug. Starting to widen now, we open the collarbones. Now just bring a little space to the back of the rib cage. I'm sorry, the back of the shoulder blades. Opening the space between the shoulder blades. Ooh, nice stretch. And then inhale, coming into a cat-cow. Inhale into a cow position, elbows slightly moving up, and then exhale, drawing elbows down into a cat. And inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and release. And then hugging, left elbow on top. And then again, staying in hug position or coming into your form of Garudasana. And again, inhaling, elbows lift, shoulder blades draw down the back, resting back onto the support of your shoulder blades. And then exhaling, drawing elbows towards navel. And 3 more rounds like this, moving with your breath. Feeling the grounding of the sole of the tops of your feet, fronts of your shins, knees, depending on the seated position you're in, just releasing the weight of your legs, the weight of your pelvis, and then shake your wrists out, roll your shoulders. And we're not coming all the way up to standing, just one more pose, and then ending with a nice grounding hand mudra. So I want you to have enough support. We're actually going to be coming into down dog with support for our forehead. And usually the position of the support is right underneath our navel or in all fours. You'll probably, once you come up into down dog, you'll need to reposition those. It can also be nice to have a block and a blanket rather than a couple of blocks. It's softer on your forehead. You decide the height that you would like. And we'll call this downward facing reindeer. So on all fours, curling your toes under, coming up, resting your forehead down onto the block. So much more pacifying for our brain when our head is supported. So you can still be strengthening legs, arms, but pacifying your brain, pacifying your jaw, eyes, softening ears, palms pressing down and forward, thighs moving back, back, back away from torso. Most of you know so many cues for down dog. I'm not going to go into all of those tonight. I want you to feel the 5 points of contact on the earth. Palms spreading, balls of your feet spreading and widening, resting your forehead down. Nice supported downward facing reindeer. And then bend your knees and coming down to a final seated position. Again, your choice for seated position. I'll take my anchors out now. So grounding your sit bones. Just rock a little bit from side to side, make sure you're even on both sit bones, grounding the weight of your legs. Even sit bones. Nice, long, tall thread of spine lengthening up. Spine comfortably aligned over the support of your pelvis. So the hand gesture, the mudra, is Adi Mudra, which is said to bring our breath and our energy to the base of our body. So the gesture, open your palms, lay your thumb across your palms, and then just simply cup your palms over your thumb, your fingers over your thumb, and turn your knuckles down onto your thighs or your knees. It can be really nice to have some support on your legs so that your shoulders aren't rounding forward. Let your elbows be heavy. Softening your eyes, closing your eyelids if that's comfortable for you. Focusing on your natural breath as you bring your energy to the base of your body. Nothing to do here but to receive the benefits of Adi Mudra, just following your breath. Calming and quieting our mind. This mudra can
help with anxiety and instill a deep sense of grounding, a deep sense of stillness. Long stroke of breath up and down your spine, keeping your palms soft. Make sure you're not gripping. So I invite you to stay in this position, working with Adi Mudra for several more breaths, just a couple more minutes. Focus on your breath and let the mudra do its own good work. And I'll take this moment to offer so much gratitude for the support of Mountain Yoga, and especially in 2020. And I've been fortunate to practice with many of you, and that certainly has fed me and fueled me in 2020. I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. Happy holidays. Be well. Namaste.